In my previous life, my sister and I received a system reward. She quickly chose $7 million, while I got a perfect score of 700 on the college entrance exam. As a result, she squandered all the money within a few years and ended up deep in debt. Meanwhile, I graduated from Harvard and now earn a six-figure salary. After several failed attempts to get money, my sister pushed me off the rooftop, and we both were reborn just before the college entrance exam. This time, she eagerly chose 700 points, successfully got into Harvard, and even stole my boyfriend from a powerful family. Sorry, sis, your life is mine now, I smiled. A pig born in Rome is still just a pig. Later, with 7 million in savings, I was recruited by Harvard as the top scorer in the province. Anna and I were reborn just before the college entrance exam. A cold, mechanical voice echoed in my ears, identical to the one in my previous life. Congratulations, host, for completing the system task. Please choose your reward. Option 1, a score of 700 on the college entrance exam. Second, deposit 7 million yuan. I struggled to look away and saw Anna across from me, her expression dazed. She murmured in astonishment, "System reward, 700 points." She snapped back to reality and shouted without hesitation, "I choose 700 points." She sneered, "With a Harvard diploma, am I still afraid I won't earn 7 million this time?" Ding, mission reward has been credited. 700 points on the college entrance exam, and I received the deposit reward, 7 million yuan in full. Anna looked at me triumphantly. "Sis, this paper diploma is worth a lot more than your 7 million. I didn't speak. Looking at that proud and triumphant face, I knew she had also been reborn. In our previous life, Anna and I both received a system reward. When faced with the choice, she quickly chose the 7 million. What's the use of scoring 700, even if you get into a prestigious university? You'll still end up working for me. For the rest of her senior year, she carried a fortune with her and had no interest in studying. She skipped classes, put on makeup, and threw money around in bars. In her own words, "I'm already financially free, so why bother studying?" Later, she failed the college entrance exam. After going abroad to relax, she resumed an extremely indulgent lifestyle. Within just a few years, 7 million was squandered, but with no skills to speak of. Her impoverished soul couldn't support her inflated desires, so she secretly began taking out loans, interest compounded upon interest, until I was buried in debt. When she had nowhere to turn, she set her sights on me, who was already earning a 7-figure salary. After being refused money several times, she pushed me off the rooftop with bitter resentment. "Why do you thrive with your 700-point score, while I'm left drowning in debt? That score should have been mine. You stole my life." So this time, she chose 700 points without hesitation. That night, I heard her muffled laughter. "Sorry, sister, your life is mine now." I pretended to be fast asleep, but inwardly, I was sneering. The system only gave her a score of 700, not the ability to match it. Does she really think that a pig reincarnated in Rome is not a pig at its core? There are still 6 months left until the college entrance exam. I rely on the foundation from my past life and seize every opportunity to study hard. And Anna, knowing she will score 700 points, feels at ease and slacks off. Every time the results of a minor exam came out, she would dismiss them with disdain. "These scores don't prove anything. I can score 700 in the college entrance exam." She even scoffed at my efforts. "Don't waste your energy. It's fine if you just go to a vocational college." She always thought my 700 score in my past life was due to the system, but in reality, I never placed my hopes on that mysterious and elusive system. Every moment she indulged in pleasure in her past life, I was studying diligently. Even the reward in that past life was bugged and held me back. I originally estimated my score to be around 720 points, and because of the system's reward, my final college entrance exam score was exactly 700 points. Reborn into a new life. This time, my goal is to be the top scorer in the province. Finally, the college entrance exam has arrived. I'm also looking forward to it. Reborn into this life. Without the bug of system rewards, how many points can I actually score? After the college entrance exam, Anna told everyone she estimated her score at 700. At first, no one believed it, until after checking the answers. "Oh my God, Anna, you must have scored 700 this time, right? So you've been playing dumb all along, huh? Good looks and top grades. I can't even imagine how much your parents must spoil you." Anna smiled politely. "Grades don't mean everything. Even if Nancy only gets into a vocational college, she's still my sister." "Nancy," someone immediately chimed in, with her usual grades, even getting into a second-tier college would be a stroke of luck for your family. Come on, one stroke of luck is enough. If her family gets two, how are the rest of us supposed to survive? Among the chorus of compliments, there was also Andrew, my boyfriend, a second-generation official with good grades and good looks. At this moment, he looked at Anna with a gentle expression. To be honest, you are much better than your sister. I hope we can both get into Harvard. Anna's gaze went past him and landed on me. Her eyes were full of pride. Okay, that night, Anna stopped me at the door. Sis, it seems like your boyfriend likes me more. He just sent me a message confessing his feelings. Oh really? I responded indifferently. Then he's all yours. Such a great boyfriend. I won't hold back, sis, after all. Andrew said he finds me more perfect and likes me more. I smiled. Does she really think Andrew is some high-quality rich second generation? At his core, he's just a psychologically twisted pervert. In my past life, I discovered his true nature early on and broke up with him, but another girl wasn't so lucky. The department's beauty queen fell from a building on the night of her birthday. The murderer was her boyfriend at the time, Andrew. Unfortunately, Anna, who was busy indulging in a life of luxury in her previous life, was unaware of these things. Since she wants such a pervert as a boyfriend, I might as well grant her wish. When the college entrance exam scores were released, both of my parents gathered around Anna. My mother nervously asked her, Anna, are you really confident you can score 700 points? Of course. Anna sipped her tea calmly. I'm sure I can score 700, don't worry. A few minutes later, Anna logged into the query system. My mom's scream was piercing. 700 points, really, truly worthy of being our parents' precious daughter, so impressive. My dad was also grinning from ear to ear. Great, Dad always knew my precious daughter could do it. Anna suddenly turned to look at me. Sis, how many points did you get? The moment I was mentioned, the room fell silent. My mom glanced at me. I'd be thanking the heavens if she even makes it to the second-tier college cutoff. All the tuition we paid for her went straight to the dogs. How much money has she wasted for the family over the years? Enough, my father sighed. What's the point of saying all this, anyway? She's grown up now. If she can get into a second-tier university, she can apply for a student loan to study. If she doesn't get in, it's just as well. She can go out and work to help support the family. Amid the sarcastic remarks, Anna looked at me with an innocent expression. Sis, don't be upset. Life isn't just about the college entrance exam. In a couple of days, I'll ask Mom to introduce you to someone for a blind date. Getting married early and settling down is a good option too. My mom ruffled Anna's hair. Anna is right. Let's not talk about her for now. I'm going to call our relatives to share the good news. Olden, hurry and check if the best hotels in our city still have availability for the celebration banquet. My dad responded and quickly went to search for the hotel's phone number. Anna, meanwhile, went out for a date with Andrew. When I was alone in the room, I opened the web page to check my scores. Nancy, the results are blocked. Just as expected, I can only continue to wait. Nighttime. While my parents were busy cooking to celebrate for Anna, a knock came at the door. Several reporters were standing outside the door. Excuse me, is this the home of Nancy? My father frowned. Yes, she is. Has she gotten into some trouble? No, no. The reporter beamed with a smile. We wanted to interview the top scorer in the province. The top scorer in the province. My dad paused for a moment before realizing. You want to interview Anna, right? As he spoke, he called out loudly toward the back. Anna, come quickly. Someone is here to interview you. My mom hurriedly brought Anna over. Anna, you actually became the top scorer in the province. You've really made your parents proud, not like your sister. When the relatives asked how she did, I was too embarrassed to tell them. Anna smiled, her eyes almost unable to conceal her pride. I never expected to become this year's top scorer in the province either. Before she could finish, she was interrupted by a reporter at the door. Wait, isn't this Nancy's house? This year's top science student isn't Anna, it's Nancy. The parents looked at each other, stunned. Nancy, are you mistaken? My mom pulled Anna over. Our Anna scored 700 points. Nancy would be lucky to get 400. If there's a provincial top scorer, it must be our Anna. 700 points. The reporter at the door was clearly taken aback for a moment, then smiled and said, your daughter is also very outstanding. But today we are here to interview the provincial top scorer, Nancy. Her college entrance exam score is 738 points. Impossible. Anna couldn't hold back any longer and exclaimed, with her grades, how could she possibly score over 700? You must have made a mistake. No mistake. the reporter impatiently interrupted and then looked at me. You must be Nancy, right? I am. A crowd of reporters swarmed forward, surrounding me. Anna was pushed to the back. Her fierce gaze at me was exactly the same as in the previous life, however, this time she could only watch as I smiled appropriately and handled everything with ease in front of the camera, basking in all the spotlight and applause. My parents were also pulled in for interviews. What kind of parenting experience could produce a daughter who became the top scorer in the province? My father, beaming with pride, couldn't hide his smile. Actually, we don't have any special parenting experience. My daughter is both smart and hardworking. Our Nancy has been clever since she was little. Relatives have always said she would grow up to be more accomplished than her younger sister. My mother also pretended to be affectionate and held my hand, saying, "My daughter is perfect in every way, except she's too strong-willed, just like me." In stark contrast to the warmth here, was Anna in the corner, seething with jealousy. She glared at me when suddenly a reporter went over to interview her. Anna quickly averted her gaze, putting on an obedient look and even tidying her hair. "Are you here to interview me?" "Yes." The reporter held the microphone in front of her and asked, "Having such a top student as your sister, do you usually feel pressured in your studies? Do you also look up to your sister as a role model?" Anna forced a strained smile and said through gritted teeth, "Yes, my sister has always been my role model." After the reporter left, my parents crowded around me, saying, "Our Nancy actually came back as the top scorer in the province. Why didn't you tell us earlier?" "Exactly, you child, keeping such good news from your parents. What would you like to eat?" "Nancy, Mom will make it for you." "Mom," Anna, who was standing nearby, couldn't hold back any longer. "I found out yesterday that my sister has 7 million in her bank account." She looked concerned. "Sister, you didn't do something foolish, did you?" 7 million. My mother's voice was sharp and thin, very piercing. "Nancy, where did you get so much money?" And I quietly looked at Anna, having lived 2 lives, yet your methods are still so direct and naive. "Investments," I spoke calmly, mentioning 2 recent investment projects. My parents were stunned. My mother had been a housewife all her life, and my father was just a small-time employee. They couldn't tell whether what I said was true or false. They were simply overjoyed. "Nancy, how come you never told us you made so much money from your investments? Things have been a bit tight at home lately. Could you take out a few $100,000 for living expenses first?" I smiled and said, "Sure, but recently, all the funds have been invested in a new project, so I can't take any out right now. Once the funds are returned, I'll give you and Dad $1 million each first." My parents instantly beamed with joy. "Great, great. You're truly our precious daughter, Dad, Mom." Anna stomped her foot anxiously beside them. "Can't you see she's just painting a rosy picture for you? What investment? That money is definitely in her bank card. Just take the card and withdraw the cash. Isn't that simple?" "Shut up." My dad glanced at my expression. "Your sister has to study and earn money at the same time. She's already working hard enough." "All right, that's enough. Let's go out for a meal to celebrate for your sister." Anna said angrily, "I'm not going." "Fine. Don't go then." My dad scolded angrily. "Let's go out to eat. We've really spoiled her too much." The door slammed shut, blocking out Anna's frustrated screams from inside the house. 2 days later, Anna didn't return home all night, telling her parents she was staying at her classmate Doris's house. She was lying. Doris was recently on a family trip to Hainan. At 11 o'clock at night, I came across Anna's WeChat Moments post, "Me and my moon." The accompanying picture showed her hand tightly clasped with another person's. Beneath their hands was a white bedsheet. Shortly after, Andrew sent a WeChat message, "Nancy, let's break up." I curled my lips into a smile. Finally, he brought up the breakup, under the dim desk lamp. I typed back to him, "Why, Andrew, you know how much I like you. I don't agree to break up. Did you fall for someone else?" A series of messages were sent, and finally, on the 7th one, I received an exclamation mark. I put away my phone with satisfaction. A pervert like Andrew, if I agree too readily, it will only stir up his unwillingness and desire for a challenge. Only by making him feel that I can't bear to let go will he break it off cleanly with me. The next day, when Anna returned, the gloom from before had vanished, and she was beaming with joy. "Sis," she inadvertently revealed the hickey on her neck, "Andrew is mine now. Please stop bothering my boyfriend from now on. Have some self-respect. He doesn't love you anymore. Even if you beg on your knees, it won't change anything." Anna chuckled. "What does having 7 million matter, with Andrew's family background? Marrying him would bring you far more than 7 million, it seems, sister. You still don't have that kind of luck." I quietly watch Anna's smug face, sighing inwardly, being the girlfriend of a deranged murderer, I really don't dare to accept such a blessing. My parents held a college acceptance celebration for us, Mom. Anna looked at the scene with dissatisfaction. Didn't you say it was for both me and Nancy? The screen says, top scorers banquet, and my score is even lower than my sister's. Just because of a few dozen points, you're being so biased, be good. My mother hugged her and whispered, your father cares about face, and insisted on throwing a so-called top scholar banquet. By the time I found out, it was too late to change it. Don't be angry, once you get the admission letter, I'll give you money to go traveling, okay? As they spoke, a group of relatives and friends approached, offering their congratulations to my mother, raising 2 top students at once. You really are blessed. Exactly. Nancy has really made you proud. She's the top scorer in the province, and there are only a few like her in the whole country. I've always thought Nancy was smart since she was little. I knew she wouldn't disappoint. Anna, however, scoffed, you all have such old-fashioned ideas. In this day and age, isn't money what matters most? Even if she becomes the top scorer in the province, she'll just end up working for someone else. As she spoke, she turned to her parents. Mom, I have a surprise for you later. The relatives around looked at each other in confusion. My mother was also completely baffled. Just as they were speaking, another guest suddenly arrived in the banquet hall. Anna quickly raised her arm and called out loudly, Andrew, over here. I overheard some relatives discussing. Andrew, is he, the son of Director James? That's him. Director James had him later in life, and he's his only precious son. Absolutely doted on. I heard they're going to hold a celebration banquet for his college admission in a few days. How is Anna connected to young Master James? They look so close. It doesn't seem like they're just classmates. Anna confidently linked arms with Andrew and smiled at everyone. Let me introduce everyone. This is my boyfriend, Andrew. The room fell silent for 2 seconds, and immediately someone stepped forward. Is this Mr. James? I had dinner with your father last time. How is Director James doing lately? Andrew smiled and replied, he's doing well. My mother, who had been visibly angry at her openly bringing a boyfriend, immediately beamed with joy upon hearing Andrew's identity. Is that Xiao Rang? Come on over, you can sit at the first table over there. Anna will also be sitting at that table after she goes on stage later. All right, thank you, Auntie. Andrew briefly greeted everyone, his gaze lingering on me. I heard you were the top scorer in the province, he said in a gentle tone, his emotions unreadable. Congratulations, Nancy. My heart tightened, afraid that he might go back to his old ways. I quickly took advantage of the fact that no one was around and whispered to him, so, can we make up, Andrew? As expected, the warmth in Andrew's eyes vanished in an instant. He sneered, it's impossible now. I'm Anna's boyfriend, Nancy. You should just give up, stop daydreaming. After saying that, he walked around me and headed toward Anna. I watched his retreating figure and popped a candy into my mouth. Idiot. During the summer, Anna was busy dating Andrew, while I was busy investing in starting a business, leveraging years of work experience from my past life and the information advantage after being reborn. I made a small profit in these 2 months. Even before the first year of university started, I had already become a little rich woman, actually. I was planning to transfer some money to my parents, but, before transferring the money, I accidentally overheard my mom and Anna talking on the balcony. Silly, of course Mom loves Anna the most. Your sister is holding on to so much money and won't spend it. Mom and Dad will coax her, get the money, and buy you a new phone and laptop. Okay. Anna nestled in my mom's arms, crying and complaining about her grievances. On the unlit balcony, my mom held her and whispered comforting words in a gentle tone. You've always been smarter than your sister since you were little. A few dozen points on the college entrance exam don't mean much. I'm sure you'll still be the one who achieves more in the future, Anna. Then, Anna cooed softly, Mom, ask Nancy for more money. I still want to travel abroad. Okay. My mother tousled her hair and said in an affectionate tone, you little greedy one, hurry back to bed. Or your sister might come out and hear you. I listened quietly. The last glimmer of hope in my heart was completely extinguished. In my previous life, I scored 700 points on the exam. Besides using my grades as a topic for showing off in front of others, my parents still always favored my younger sister. I am 1 year older than Anna, but my parents have always been partial to their younger daughter since childhood, even making me start school a year later just to take care of my sister. So, from elementary school onward, Anna and I were in the same grade and the same class. Over the years, I have been more like the sensible, invisible background of the family. Even In my previous life, when Anna dragged me off the rooftop, I only heard my parents screaming Anna's name. Before they came out, I quietly returned to the bedroom. Sure enough, the next day, my mom held my hand and started crying about how poor they were. Nancy, your dad's company hasn't been doing well lately. We've spent a lot of money to support you and Anna through school, and now we really don't have any money left. How about you lend me a few $100,000 first? I held her hand too and said, don't worry, Mom, this round of investment will pay off in another 2 months. I'll transfer the money to you then. You're my parents, my closest family. If I make money, how could I not spend it on our family? My mother agreed with a mix of doubt and belief. I sighed. If only Anna would sell the luxury items Andrew gave her. After all, she's still young. Carrying a designer bag is too flashy and might actually harm her. The money from selling them would just about cover 2 months, and by then, I'll have the funds to return. A word is enough to the wise. That night, I heard an argument coming from Anna's room. Mom, are you crazy? Why did you sell my bag? Didn't we agree to ask Nancy for money? If Andrew finds out I sold the bag he gave me, he'll definitely be angry. Arguments continued. Finally, Anna stormed out and did not return all night. The summer break soon came to an end. After the start of the new semester, I gave a speech on stage as a representative of the new students. Anna happened to be sitting in the first row. When she took the stage, she stared at me intently. Her eyes were filled with jealousy, resentment, and unwillingness. Yet, as her emotions shifted, she smiled again. I have a bad feeling about this. As expected, as soon as I stepped onto the stage, I felt my pants tear open at the thigh. A loud rip sound was unmistakable. Whispers began to rise from the audience. Then, I heard Anna deliberately raise her voice. Oh, how did her pants get torn? It seemed like laughter broke out. Thousands of people in the audience were watching me. Some people looked on with amusement, while others frowned. If it were my 18-year-old self from a past life, I might have felt awkward and embarrassed, at a loss for what to do, but the person on stage was me, with a mental age already past 30. After the initial shock, I pulled my shirt to cover up a bit and continued onto the stage. Soon, someone handed over a coat, and I casually tied it around my waist. I proceeded with the speech as usual. My tone was impassioned, and my words were forceful. Among the thousands of students in the audience, there were certainly no ordinary individuals, and naturally, no one would dwell on that trivial incident. Anna's naive tactics were still stuck in her high school days from her past life. She hadn't expected that everyone's attention would be captivated by the speech. With 5,000 years of glorious history, the vast land of China shines like the starry river. May our generation strive to safeguard the prosperity of this great nation. After reading the last 2 lines, applause erupted like a tidal wave. I bowed in gratitude and, as I stepped off the stage, met Anna's jealous and resentful gaze. I know, the issue with the pants was definitely her doing behind the scenes. I don't want to waste time arguing with her, so, later, I just ordered a seafood platter for myself the night before her physical exam and added some laxatives to it. I took a photo and posted it on my social media. Mom called soon after. Nancy, I thought you didn't like seafood. You could have just tried a little and thrown it away, but it would have been better to give it to your sister. Your sister loves seafood the most. When you come home, Mom will stew the ribs you love. Okay. I bit my lip in grievance. All right. Then I watched as Anna smugly took away the takeout. The next day, my roommate came back to the dorm excitedly and said, "Did you hear? Today, a girl from the department next door had diarrhea while running the 800-meter race." I pretended to be surprised. On the track field, yes, she was running, then suddenly shouted that her stomach hurt and rushed to the restroom, but halfway there, it just burst out on the spot. My roommate shook his head. I happened to be there at the time, and as a result, I couldn't even eat lunch. The dormitory was buzzing with discussion. Oh my God, isn't that just so socially awkward? If it were me, I probably wouldn't have the face to finish the remaining 4 years at school. Not long after, I received a phone call from Anna. "Nancy, you did this on purpose, didn't you?" "Yes." I flipped through the pages of my book and said casually, "You gave me a gift at the freshman assembly first, so I had to return the favor." "Anna, focus on your relationship and don't mess with me. You can't beat me." Anna suddenly laughed. "Nancy, are you doing all this because you still can't let go of Andrew? What a pity. No matter how much you struggle, Andrew won't come back to you," she said disdainfully. "Andrew said he finds you disgusting now. He hates clingy girls like you the most." It seems that because she found an outlet to vent, her mood instantly improved. "So what if you're the top scorer in the province? aren't we still classmates? What's the big deal about 7 million? Do you know the value of Andrew's dad being the bureau chief? After graduation, I can marry Andrew, and his family will pave the way for me by the time you graduate. That little money of yours will probably be long gone. The sound of mockery kept ringing in her ears. It was all her empty and narrow-minded fantasies. I shook my head. Hang up the phone. No wonder she lives so happily. I occasionally scroll through my social media feed before bed. The most frequent updates I see are from Anna. Andrew took me to an amazing Japanese restaurant today. Love you. A LV bag for my baby, whose heart is racing. I won't say. I had a cold and a headache today, so I washed up early and went to bed. Came across Anna's latest update. Night hike to GX Rock with Andrew. The post includes a photo of her and Andrew together, against the night sky. Anna smiles and flashes a peace sign at the camera, while Andrew holds her with a gentle smile. His gaze was chilling. It sent a shiver down the spine of anyone who saw it. Sliding further down, my head felt heavy and dizzy, and I fell asleep. When I woke up, I saw Anna's new update again, 2 accompanying images. In the first one, she is sitting on a chair with her ankle badly swollen. In the other photo, Andrew is crouching beside her, applying medicine to her injury. Unlucky enough to almost fall off the mountain and sprain my ankle, but thankfully my boyfriend is so caring. Looking at this familiar scene, I suddenly remembered, in my previous life, I seem to have seen a similar post from the campus bell. Back then, Andrew also took her night hiking on GX Rock. She almost fell off the mountain but was pulled back by Andrew just in time, ending up with only a sprained ankle. Actually, later, according to Andrew's account, he had intended to take action that day, but upon noticing people around, he decided against it at the last moment. It seems, after Anna took Andrew away, the consequences that should have been borne by the campus bell were all transferred to her. It's really dramatic, but I don't intend to tell her. Even if I did, she wouldn't believe me. Instead, she would think I'm jealous and trying to win Andrew back. Moreover, no matter how close we are as siblings, I can't tolerate her repeatedly trying to harm or kill me. I choose to respect the karma of others. During my freshman year, I co-founded a studio with a few senior students. Only I knew how influential these individuals would become in the business world in the future. I had capital, years of experience from a past life, and an information advantage, and they possess exceptional ability and vision. The studio's development has been exceptionally smooth. In less than a year, the 7 million in my hands has more than doubled. My studies were never neglected. As for Anna, she initially attended classes diligently, but she had fallen too far behind in her foundational knowledge, leaving her confused in every lesson. Without the system, her original college entrance exam score would likely have been around 300 points, not to mention wasting 2 lifetimes. Moreover, later on, she became completely devoted to Andrew and had no interest in her studies. Recently, a high school classmate sent me a link. Nancy, this streamer, is that your sister? I clicked in confusion, then I saw an extremely seductive scene. Anna was dressed in skimpy clothes, making all sorts of provocative gestures toward the camera. Although only half of her face was visible, it was still unmistakably her. I forced myself to watch the entire video, and vaguely recalled rumors I had heard in a past life about the campus bell. A few words leaped to mind. Compliance test. That pervert Andrew spent his days emotionally manipulating and putting down his girlfriend. To make her prove her loyalty, he forced her to film some special videos to satisfy his disgusting desires, either break up, or shoot some suggestive videos and post them online. The intensity gradually increases, and the other person's boundaries are lowered bit by bit with each compromise, until they are completely loyal. In my previous life, I only thought those were rumors, but now it seems they were indeed true. And clearly, it wasn't Anna's first time filming, even in her daily life. Her clothing choices deliberately catered to Andrew's preferences, becoming increasingly bold. I heard she was even publicly criticized by the teacher in class for her attire. I frowned as I scrolled through her unsightly videos. What difference does it make if this version of Anna is reborn? The reborn Anna is still the same one, full of desires and utterly depraved from her past life. For her, without the 7 million in rewards from her past life system, and with only a diploma to her name, it's uncertain whether she can even manage to graduate. Andrew is the only lifeline that can satisfy her material desires. She had long lost herself. All that remained were the luxury bags, one after another. In her social media posts, before the exam, my mom suddenly called me. Nancy, your final exams are coming up soon. I'm doing my homework and answered casually. What's up? could you take the exam for your sister?" "What?" I was taken aback, and my hand holding the pen paused. My mom seemed to find it hard to bring up as well and said awkwardly, "Your sister said she's been struggling to keep up this semester. If she fails, she might not pass the makeup exam either, but you're different. Our Nancy is so smart, she could easily pass the makeup exam." "No, getting caught taking an exam for someone else can lead to serious consequences, even expulsion," my mother quickly added. "That won't happen. You and your sister look so much alike, if you just get bangs. The proctor definitely won't be able to tell." As the older sister, "Please help your sister out. I have long been accustomed to their favoritism." This time, however, I didn't feel sad, only a sense of irony. "This is absolutely impossible, Nancy. Just..." I hung up the phone directly. My mom called a few more times, and I hung up on all of them. Finally, my mom sent a WeChat message. "Mom is really sad. Other sisters dote on and cherish their younger sisters. How can you be so cold-hearted? Ask yourself, are you even a qualified sister?" I quickly typed back, "You'd make a pretty good sister yourself, otherwise, I'll be her mom, and you'll be her sister." My phone buzzed, and my mom sent a series of voice messages. Of course, I didn't listen to any of them, set the messages to Do Not Disturb, and continued with my homework. I refused to help, so Anna found someone else to take the exam for her. The result, caught. Anna's grades in all subjects were invalidated, and the specific disciplinary outcome will be notified after the exam. That night, Anna came to my dormitory. As soon as we met, she slapped me. "Nancy, you're just deliberately making fun of me, aren't you? You're so good at studying, you could have just taken the exam for me. Mom called you so many times, and you refused. Now that my results are invalid, are you satisfied?" I grabbed her wrist tightly. Smiling, I said, "Not bad. If you were expelled, would be even more satisfied." "You..." Anna struggled desperately and suddenly pulled out a bottle of mineral water from her chest. My heart sank, and I quickly called my roommate to help stop her. Fortunately, my roommate reacted quickly and snatched the water bottle away while I was holding Anna down. "What's this?" She frowned. "It couldn't be sulfuric acid, could it? Nancy, your sister, she wouldn't be that cruel, would she?" I held Anna down firmly and sneered. "Is there anything she wouldn't do? Yeah, help me call the police." The police arrived quickly. We were all taken to the police station to give our statements. After returning to school, I went straight to the office and handed over those video links of Anna to the school. Anna has been showing her face more frequently in her recent videos, and her personal information has been dug up, with her identity as a Harvard student also being widely discussed in the comments section. Harvard. Oh my God, even top students are this wild. No wonder everyone is breaking their necks to get into Harvard. My understanding of Harvard has deepened another layer. The school took this very seriously and immediately launched an investigation. Attempted exam cheating crime, posting a large number of indecent videos online and causing public opinion impact. Anna is definitely not going to be able to continue her studies, as expected. The school's disciplinary decision came out quickly: expulsion from school. And Anna was detained by the police for a month. My parents called me countless times, but I didn't answer. Even if I had, it would have just been them blaming me for calling the police or scolding me for not taking good care of my sister. I don't plan on going back to that home either. For the holidays, I chose to stay in Beijing to study and develop my studio. After coming out, Anna returned to her hometown. However, as the new year approached, I suddenly received a phone call. My grandmother had passed away. How could it be so sudden? I immediately booked a flight home. While packing, my hands felt stiff, thinking of the old lady whose voice was as loud as a bell, who always hid all kinds of delicious treats in layers of oiled paper and secretly gave them only to me. The old lady who, upon learning that I was the top scorer in the province, was the only one who cried before celebrating, hugging me and saying it must have been so hard to achieve such great results. That, the only one who truly cared for me, the old lady, how could she have passed away so suddenly? My aunt told me that Grandma passed away in her sleep, very peacefully, without any suffering. But, the night before going to bed, she kept saying, "It's been so long since I've seen Nancy. I wonder how she's doing at school. Are you eating enough? Have you lost weight again?" She had been saying it for a long time. That child is so sensible, always putting herself last. When she comes back for the holidays, I'll have to personally stew some ribs for her. But she never got to wait for me to come back for the holidays. Memories of my youth. Everyone told me that as the older sister, I should take good care of my younger sister. Only the little old lady, who had barely attended school, would argue with everyone, she's still a child herself. Who can she take care of? Was she born to be an elder sister? She is Nancy. When I rushed back to my hometown, my grandmother had already turned into a cold, black and white photo on the wall, holding back tears. I knelt down and kowtowed 3 times heavily, then 3 sticks of incense were lit. Grandma was over 90 years old, and her passing was considered a joyous occasion. The family hired a troupe to perform, making it very lively. I stared blankly at the bustling scene over there. Then, a person came into view, Anna. She stood at the back of the crowd, watching me with a sinister gaze. Her look was exactly the same as when she pushed me off the rooftop in my past life. I coldly averted my eyes. After the funeral, my parents took the initiative to reconcile with me, but I ignored them. Instead, I went to a hotel and booked a room. At night, someone knocked on the door. Who? My aunt's voice came from outside. Nancy, it's me. Only then did I feel at ease and opened the door. However, after my aunt came in, my parents followed her into the room. My aunt had no idea what had happened between us and thought I was just throwing a tantrum. She tried to persuade me, Nancy, your parents miss you so much. They know you're still upset, so they brought your favorite pastries to see you. We're all family. There's no such thing as holding grudges overnight, right? I frowned, not wanting to embarrass my aunt, so I said nothing. My parents smiled awkwardly and handed me the red bean bread. Nancy, try it. You used to love this. I glanced at it. I don't like it. I ate this growing up because Anna didn't like red beans. So this was the only thing I could have. I hate red beans too, I said, pausing after each word. Especially hate them. The atmosphere grew tense. Just then, the knocking on the door suddenly started again. My dad was standing by the door and, without even asking who was outside, turned around and opened it. The next second, a figure rushed in quickly. Anna ran toward me, her eyes bloodshot and weary, a dagger still clutched in her hand. Why do you get to have all the advantages? You have money and education, but I only have Andrew. Why did he still break up with me? She raised the dagger high, looking as if she had gone mad. Nancy, it's time for everything to end. If I could start over, I would definitely live a better life than you. I held her wrist tightly, while my aunt desperately tried to hold her back. It was my parents who stood there frozen, not even thinking of helping, only shouting from the side, Anna, what are you doing? Put the knife down. Don't be impulsive, however. Anna couldn't hear anything at that moment. I used all my strength to push her away. The door was too far, so I could only drag my aunt into the bathroom, lock the door. I breathed a sigh of relief. Auntie, call the police. Ah, okay. My aunt, still shaken, dialed the emergency number with trembling hands. Nancy, are your parents still outside? It's fine. Her target is me. She won't harm them. Outside the door was the sound of Anna kicking it frantically. Only then did my parents step forward to stop her. Anna, stop this. You were just in detention before. If you keep this up, don't stop me. The words, detention center, only further agitated her. She muttered under her breath, as long as I die with her one more time, I can make the choice again. This time, I want 7 million. I'll take the money and become the top scorer in the exams myself. My mom was so anxious she was almost in tears. What choice? Anna, calm down. Her dad. Stop her quickly. Then, a piercing scream came from outside the door. My heart sank. Something seems to have happened. I heard my mom screaming, Dad, are you okay? So much blood. Soon, a dull thud of someone collapsing echoed from outside the door. Anna was also crying. Dad, I didn't mean to, but I didn't expect. My mom's first reaction was to urge Anna, run. What are you still doing here? I'll take your dad to the hospital. They called the police. Anna left without even turning her head. I immediately dialed 120, and upon opening the door, I saw my father lying in a pool of blood, stabbed in the thigh. I took a deep breath and slowly crouched down to check his breathing. There was none. My legs felt a bit weak. My mother could tell the outcome from my expression. She looked incredulous. How is that possible? Anna only accidentally stabbed him in the leg, not the heart. How could it happen so quickly? She didn't know that a punctured femoral artery could lead to rapid death. She just held my father and cried. Suddenly, she thought of something and quickly picked up the blood-stained dagger from the ground, trembling as she pushed it toward me. Nancy, help your sister just this once, okay? Even my aunt was stunned. Sis, do you realize what you're saying? Even if it's her own father, this is still murder. Murder is punishable by death. It won't be. My mother came towards me in tears. Nancy, Mom will write a letter of forgiveness. It won't be the death penalty, just say it wasn't intentional. At most, you'll get a few years in prison. Your sister is still young, and we've spoiled her since she was little. She wouldn't be able to handle it in there, and I can handle it." My mother covered her face and cried, "Then what do you want me to do? Your sister has already been expelled from school. And Andrew broke up with her. If she goes to prison, how will she survive after she gets out? But you're different. You're so capable. Even if you spend a few years in prison, you'll definitely be able to live well after you get out." I looked at her coldly. My heart, which had long held no expectations, died completely at that moment. With my father like this, you still have the heart to think about how to protect your precious daughter. I have the ability, so I deserve to die. The hotel is very close to the police station. As they spoke, the police had already broken through the door. My father had already stopped breathing before the ambulance arrived. Anna accidentally struck his femoral artery with that knife, and within just half a minute, blood spurted out, staining the ground red. Anna fled and remains at large, but my biased mother insists that I was the one who accidentally stabbed him. It has nothing to do with Anna. It's a pity that my aunt refused to testify against her conscience, and only my mother's and Anna's fingerprints were found on that dagger. Anna was caught very quickly, not by being arrested, nor by turning herself in, but taken to the hospital by an ambulance. She was panicked to the extreme, not knowing where to hide or what to do, and instinctively turned to the only lifeline she thought she had, Andrew. Upon learning about her crime, Andrew first comforted her gently, then confidently promised that he would handle everything. Then, when Anna was completely relaxed, he pushed her out of the 8th floor window. He leaned on the windowsill, admiring the ever-changing expressions on her face: shock, confusion, terror, regret. Later, according to Andrew's confession, he had intended to fake the scene of Anna committing suicide out of guilt, but he never expected that, after falling from the 8th floor, she miraculously survived. The trees on the 2nd floor acted as a cushion. Anna was taken to the hospital by a passerby and survived. However, she became a high-level paraplegic. She was paralyzed from the neck down and unable to move, barely clinging to life. My mother stayed by the hospital bed, crying every day, and the most frequent thing Anna said after waking up was, "Mom, kill me, so I can choose again. I don't want to live my whole life like this. This time, I choose the 7 million. I want to be the top scorer in the province." She screamed hoarsely, "Kill me then," but my mother refused, only holding her and crying, "Be good, Mom will take care of you, we'll be fine, we'll be fine." My mother prays to gods and worships Buddha all day long, yet no deity has ever shown any sign of response. 3 years have passed, Anna still hasn't recovered in the slightest. She lies in bed every day, with only her eyes able to move. Time gradually wore down my mother's will. She no longer hoped for her most precious little daughter to get better. Every day when feeding her, she showed no patience, shoving a large spoonful of dry rice into her mouth, often choking Anna until she nearly suffocated. When in a bad mood, she would even curse under her breath. "How do you still have the face to live and burden me? You might as well have died back then." And she no longer bathed Anna every day, due to being bedridden for years. The paralyzed limbs and muscles have gradually atrophied, and the body is covered with bedsores. My aunt once went to visit and couldn't bear to mention it when she returned. When the blanket was lifted, the sight of the bedsores all over the body was shocking. My aunt said that when she went, Anna no longer recognized her. Her eyes were fixed blankly on the ceiling, and occasionally she would open her mouth, only to hoarsely repeat, "Kill me, I want 7 million, I'm not choosing anymore. I want to start over. System, save me again." However, the system never saved her again, and no one else could save her either. Over the years, my mother looked for me many times, but she never got to see me. Without a husband and without an income, she took on odd jobs during the day and returned home at night to care for her daughter, who had soiled the bed. Years of toil had taken a severe toll on her health. She begged relatives to persuade me and later resorted to various forms of emotional blackmail, but unfortunately, I wasn't swayed by any of it. If it were just the occasional unfairness, I will now take on the responsibility of supporting her in her old age. However, when she told the police without hesitation that I was the murderer, I knew that our mother-daughter bond was completely severed for life. I will never soften my heart. On my 25th birthday, I received an unknown call late at night. A familiar voice echoed in my ear, yet it sounded unusually weathered, hoarse, and aged. "Nancy," she called out to me, her voice trembling, "Mom misses you so much. Please, don't hang up just yet, okay?" happy birthday, Mom hasn't seen you in 4 years, are you still not willing to forgive me? She choked up, you are all my children, and I love you too, I just went about it the wrong way. Are you done talking? I said calmly. You might have mistaken me for someone else, my mother died 4 years ago. This sentence inexplicably struck a chord with her. On the other end of the phone, she suddenly burst into tears. Nancy, Mom was really wrong, Mom. I hung up the phone without hesitation, my heart remained completely calm, I even felt a sense of relief. How can I forgive her? Forgive her for keeping me locked at home for a year, just so I could accompany my sister to school. Forgive me for only being able to eat the leftover bread and wear her ill-fitting hand-me-downs since childhood. Forgive her for begging me to take the exam for her, to take the blame for Anna. Even if I could forgive, the little Nancy, trapped in the past by all kinds of favoritism, would never forgive. By the time I graduated, the original studio had already become a company and was about to go public. My extremely accurate investment vision made me famous in the industry. The future is bright. Once, when my mom wasn't home, I went back to see Anna. She was no longer even recognizable as a person, she was still mumbling some fragmented words. Nancy, choose again, this is probably the only hope in her desperate life, but in reality, she has fallen to this point and still doesn't understand. The mistake was never in the choices she made, her greed, her desires, her malice, every wrong deed, tangled and complex, had long destined her to live a miserable life. No matter how many times she starts over, it will always be the same. It's not the choices that were wrong, but her very nature. The room was stuffy and reeked of an unpleasant, foul odor. I quickly left. Outside, the sunlight was just right, and the breeze was gentle. I took out my phone, checked the date, calculated the timing, and decided on a new project to invest in soon, a mobile game that is about to go viral. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.